Hey, this is Andrea Kane, and I am here with you for HIT 120 Pharmacology. And this is the syllabus review video. We're going to go ahead and go through the syllabus in a couple of different ways to give you the information about this class. This is for spring 2021, and it is entirely online. If you click into HIT 120 in Brightspace, you'll notice here you have content, syllabus, attendance, class list, class progress, that sort of information. Syllabus is a new tab, and if you click on that, it will bring up this syllabus. And so let's really quick go through some of the information on here. There is a quick 10-question quiz for you to complete after you've done the syllabus review video, and that's really just so that I know that you know the major things you need to know about this class through the syllabus. My contact information is here. The best way to contact me is through NICC email. So please, that's the best way to contact me. I check that on my phone and on the computer quite often. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. I used to have an office in Max Clark Hall at Calmer. They are doing major construction there, so I have lost my office, but they tell me I'll get it back in 2022. At present, I'm at home and I live in Waverly, and I'm really enjoying being home. It's wonderful. My Zoom office hours, because I don't have real office hours, I have Zoom office hours. Those are on Tuesdays from 9 to noon and Thursday evening 6:30 to 9:30. I'm available lots of other times, especially through email. But if you need to Zoom with me another date and time, we can arrange that. To find the information about my Zoom hours, I want to show you where to go because there's a Zoom link for Tuesdays and a Zoom link for Thursdays. If you and I agree that we're going to Zoom a different time, maybe let's say a Wednesday afternoon, I need to create a Zoom meeting for that and send you the specific link. It's just the way that Zoom does things. So if we click on content over here, and now we're going to go down under content to course materials. Okay, so you clicked on content, it opened this up, you come down to the little cardboard box of course materials. Underneath course materials, you'll see syllabus, and I'll come back to this, but this is a PDF version of the syllabus that you can take a look at. There's the course guide, and then there's Zoom office hours and links. And if you click on this, it'll open a web page, and it has, see, Tuesday morning office hours, the Zoom link, and the phone number. And then down here, again, Thursday office hours, the Zoom link and password, and then the phone information. And this gives you the dates that I will be available. During that time, what I usually do is I'm working. And so I will get Zoom open, and I will minimize it on my screen, and I have it muted and the video off. And I mean, oftentimes I'm playing music, sometimes my kids or my husband are around, sometimes the 3 cats are in and out. So if you click into that Zoom, give me a couple seconds. I will hear you and I will click off my music. I will tell everyone around me to hush and shush, and I will get the cats off my desk and click the video and click the audio on so that we can Zoom. If for some reason, some strange reason, I'm not there after 15 seconds or so, shoot me an email and I will get right back on or get on. If I'm not going to keep my office hours, I will let you know. But these are pretty carved in stone for me. But anyway, that's how we do it. But if you need something that's at a different time, I'll send you a different Zoom link. So let's go back to syllabus. Okay, coming down here. So I'm at home. You know when my Zoom office hours are. You know how to get the information to link up and do the Zoom. You know the best way to contact me is through email. Let's talk about required materials. You have a textbook. It's Basic Concepts in Pharmacology, and that's going to guide us. It's probably about half of what we're going to be doing. The other half is this textbook of pathology. It's an open educational resource through NICC's library. It's free. It is electronic. You can go into the library and access it. And so it's got the information here for you. And we just use it to refer to pathology. So as we go through and we talk about pharmacology, well, medications, what do? They're there to resolve some type of problem. What is pathophysiology? It's problems. So as we need additional insight into the different problems, let's use, for example, dementia. If we happen to be studying that chapter and we're looking at medications to treat dementia, that's when we're going to use the pathophysiology book to refer back to, say, okay, what are the signs and symptoms of dementia? What age of person does dementia tend to affect? And think about that with medication. And then the language of medicine is optional, and we really just use it the first couple of weeks of class we're going to use chapter 21 out of there, and it's really just a basis for us to go back to and kind of get our medical terminology piece of pharmacology and that sort of thing. So if you happen to have been in my medical terminology class in fall of 2020, you would already have this book, and we're looking at chapter 21 again with that. But if you don't have this book, you're probably not going to miss anything, because I have most of the information in a PowerPoint, and so it's not necessary. And I'm also going to be posting those pages for you out of this book. I'm taking pictures with my document camera, so that you have those in case the book is not readily available to you. But if you've got the book, I would refer back to that just for these couple of weeks of class while we're going through basic information. All right, so on to course information. This is all from your course guide. And again, I showed you where under content and course materials, you could go find the course guide. But this is just sort of a small snapshot of some of the information. The grading procedures and scale. The scale belongs to Health Information Technology program. It's not something I can set or change. It is what it is. What I do is I plug in the points. And the points come from our items. We have 18 discussions, 2 assignments, and 17 quizzes. So you'll see this is a 1-credit class. It's fairly light. It's mostly reading the information, watching the lecture video, and taking the quiz. And you can see how that all falls out with points and percentages over here. Course calendar. There is a course calendar. This is one of the places where you can see it. If you click on here, it'll take you to Google Spreadsheets, and you can see the course calendar in Google Spreadsheets. Otherwise, there are 2 other places where you can see this information, and I'm going to show you right now. The first one is under the syllabus that is in course materials. So let's go back. Let's click on content. Let's go back to our course materials here, and down here is syllabus. So let's click on the syllabus. Okay, here's our syllabus. If we move down through the syllabus, I'm sorry to make you dizzy, we get to this nice table here. This is the course calendar. It tells you every week what it is we're going to be doing, what we're going to be covering in terms of topics, point values, course objectives, unit objectives, the common learning outcome. One thing I want to point out to you on this, these first items above the line, that's out of your pharmacology textbook. Anything that's in italics under the line, that's out of the pathophysiology textbook. So again, this is out of the pharmacology textbook. Pathophysiology textbook out of the library is going to be what's in italics below that line, just so you know. So it shows you what we're going to be covering and that sort of thing. It shows you the fact that there'll be a lecture video, there'll be a discussion, and then a quiz. All right, so that is the second place. The third place you can find is if you click on content and you go down and you click on a week. So I'm going to, week 1's probably not the best one to show you. So I'm going to skip down to week 16. I have some weeks hidden until I can get the video lectures and the quizzes loaded. Once I get the video lectures and the quizzes loaded, you'll be able to see those. Oh, week 16 is closed. All right, so let me try. I guess we're back to week 1. But anyway, I will be opening those up fairly quickly. It's just that to get them open before school started early, I closed those off, but those will be coming open. So, okay, week one, you're going to have an introduction. It'll tell you about what we're going to be studying. It will also tell you what you need to focus on. And then down here below, it'll show you exactly what is available and needs to be done. And you can see I haven't loaded my week one lecture yet, but I will be doing that before this class opens so that you have everything you need for week one. And during week one is when I'll load weeks 2 and 3. So you'll start seeing more of these weeks open up. The discussions are pretty much open, but the weeks themselves are not. So you can see what all is available for you for week one. So that's another way to look at the course calendar. So those are the 3 ways. All right, back to the syllabus tab. So we've done course calendar here. Let's talk about feedback and assessment. Any opportunity that you have for feedback, please take it. We need your feedback. It helps us improve at NICC. It helps me as an instructor improve, and it also helps us improve the class for future students. So please don't be shy about giving feedback. Assessment, we are all assessed. The college is assessed. I as an instructor am assessed. You as a student are assessed. It's to make sure that we're all doing what we need to be doing in terms of learning, that our teaching is effective, that our courses are effective, that students are getting what they need out of those. And so every class, I think at the end of the semester, you get an email from Kelly Kramer about an idea assessment. Please make sure that you complete that because that is so important to us. And then throughout every class, there are certain assessment items. You'll see them, and they'll be bolded, and they'll say DC or DP or DS. Those are assessments those are activities that assess your learning for the course, and then that information ends up going into a dashboard, not individual student, but the class as a whole will go in as one number to identify for this semester, for this class, are we hitting the targets that we need to hit? So a lot of good information, and also to help us improve. So attendance, academic engagement. Attendance is pretty much as it is for every class. Once a week I take attendance. I look to see, did you get anything done? Did you engage in any way? Did you do the discussion? Did you take the quiz? That's how we mark present for attendance. If you have done nothing all week, then obviously you've been absent. If you contact me and you say, hey, I've got something going on, I won't be available this week, you won't see anything getting done, then I can always put in E for excused. And same thing, for instance, heaven forbid, but if somebody gets COVID and they alert me, then obviously we would mark their attendance as excused for that week or 2 while they're recovering. Academic dishonesty, I really don't want to spend hardly any time on that whatsoever. My hope and prayer is that we are all academically honest and that we all demonstrate integrity. I've expanded on this in the syllabus that's posted under content, the PDF version. But essentially, let's all be honest. Let's all do the right thing. I start from a position of trust with people. I presume that you're going to be academically honest until you prove me otherwise. And I hope you never do. That is my hope and prayer. We are judged on our integrity, and we cannot be trusted if we don't demonstrate that. Late work. Let's talk about late work. I have said this before, I hate late work. I really, really do, because as an instructor, it adds so much to what I do. It makes it very challenging, and it makes me worry that I'm going to forget something or miss something, and that sort of thing. Now, having said that about late work, something that if you've had me before, you know, is that I do accept it and I don't penalize for it. I tell the story, when I was going through my master's program, I had several things occur during that 2-year time frame that were completely unexpected, unplanned, and they really knocked me off my feet sideways. Not literally, but I would definitely say figuratively. My professors were very gracious to me, and they encouraged me. At one point I was behind 8 papers, and they told me, you can't give up. Don't give up. You can come back from this. You can do this. And I did. I got them all done and I did catch up and finished the program very well. But I had those professors who were very gracious and kind to me, and I've never forgotten it, and I've always sworn to pay it forward. And so I will do that with you. If you have something that happens in your life and it knocks you sideways, I will work with you and help you as much as is within my power, so that you're able to get that done. Now, a couple of things you need to know about that. I am not accepting any discussions late, not at all. And here's the reason why. Discussions happen during the week that they happen. That's when everybody's on there, they're reading, they're posting, they're thinking, they're communicating, they're interacting, all of that. After that week is up, there's really no point to posting or putting a reply in because nobody sees it and the discussion's over. So your discussion is either there or it's not. And if you're not able to do it that week, I'm really sorry, you're going to lose the points. But it is what it is. Now, when it comes to assignments and quizzes, those can be done late up till May 13th, Thursday, May 13th at 11:30 p.m. That is the very last time I can accept any late work or any work whatsoever, because I have to turn in your final grades to the registrar on May 14th, Friday, May 14th. I have to have them into her. And I have to do it for, I think, 6 or 7 classes, 6 at least, maybe 7. So with that many classes, that many students, I have got to have your coursework no later than 11:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 13th. So please, please, please make sure you get it all turned in by then. But if it's something, say, for week 4 and it doesn't get turned into week 7, I will still grade it off and all of that. It won't be penalized. But please try and turn things in on time. You're expected to do that. And that's a good habit to get into. And it's definitely what I prefer as an instructor. And I cheer the people who do that consistently. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. But there is a little bit of wiggle room in there for those who end up being in a situation where they have to have late work. All right, missing assignments. We talked about late work and that kind of covers it. I like to grade on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. The week usually closes on Monday nights at 11:30 p.m. And when it closes then, I like to grade on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. It just helps me stay fresh and keep it going. If I don't have your work submitted when I go to grade, I'm going to give you a 0. That should be your sign to say, ooh, it's not submitted. I need to do something. Because I don't know, did you try and submit it and something happened with your computer? Did you try and submit it and something happened with the internet? Did you try and submit it and Brightspace was a little bit difficult and didn't accept it, didn't upload it, whatever it was? I don't know. All I know is at the point of grading, I don't have it. So that's why I'm putting the 0 in there. It keeps your grades current, but also it should be a red flag to you that, oh, hey, you need to go back and take a look at this. If you submit it after that, I will get it. I don't know that I'll get it right away, but the next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when I grade, I will definitely see it and update it if I don't do it before then. You can also shoot me an email and say, hey, Andrea, I just completed this and it's uploaded. And that way, that's a good reminder for me to go back in and take care of it fairly quickly. But again, my point is it's your responsibility to monitor your grades and make sure they reflect the work that you completed and submitted. I don't know. So it's really important for you to do that, because if it gets to be 6-8 weeks down the road and then we're trying to figure out and go back, it makes it very challenging. There is no makeup testing. Really, there isn't any. Now, if we have the unfortunate situation of another derecho storm like we did last August, that's different. That I will gladly reset the test for everyone once internet is up again and that sort of thing. But this is why we tell students, please make sure your connection is good, is so that you can take the test. The other thing is don't try and take a test 15 minutes before you've got to walk out the door. Make sure you have adequate time. And here are the reasons behind those two things. First reason, Brightspace marks every question you don't answer as 0. So you got 15 minutes, you think, oh, I'll get through half this test and I'll come back and do it later. Mm-mm. Brightspace says, oh, you got off after 20 minutes and you still have 10 questions unanswered. Those 10 questions are all zero and that's it, you're done. The other thing is that I'm a firm believer as an instructor that students need to see not only what they got wrong, but what was the right answer so that they can go back and say, oh yeah, now I see, I get it. It's not enough to know you got it wrong. Well, okay, I got it wrong, but what's the right answer? How do I know what the right answer is? So I make sure that all of my tests show you what the right answer is. So if you've taken the test once and you've seen what you got wrong and you've seen all the right answers and then you take that test again, you've got all the answers. So that is why I'm not going to do 2 rounds of testing. Just not going to do it. So in this class, you get 1 shot. Now, if something happens and you're fairly early into the test, I will go ahead and reset it for you. But please do not make that a habit because that's not really something that I, as an instructor, can do, especially since I've told you up front in the syllabus that that's something I'm not going to do. So please understand there's no makeup testing, and second chances are going to be very few and far between. We talked about Zoom office hours contact information, how you find it under content and course materials. If there's going to be a change or an update in the class, I will communicate it through announcements in Brightspace. When you first sign into your class, this is the screen you see right here. And right underneath the header is announcements. And this is where they'll be. If I'm gonna put in a class change, it'll be right here under announcements. So whenever you sign in, make sure you're looking every time you sign in at announcements. So let's go back to syllabus here. I'm sorry my voice is rough. I have been doing a lot of recording over the last several days and it's gotten a bit scratchy. I'm looking forward to having a couple of days to to rest it. All right, so we talked about that. Program policies. Due dates typically are the Monday following the week of class. That's what's in Brightspace. Brightspace is sort of your source of truth. If you're still confused after you look at Brightspace, then definitely email me. Shoot me an email and say, Andrea, I'm just not sure about this, and let me take a look. I have opened all the discussions early, and you can complete those in advance if you wish to do so. I will, as I said, I've got some weeks closed right now while I'm trying to get lectures and quizzes into those, and I will get those opened as soon as I can so that you can work ahead as much as you would like to, at least on discussions, because I won't open quizzes early, but discussions, yes. There are rubrics for most of the discussions. Those have changed. If you have any for HIT 330, the rubric has changed a bit, so make sure you take a look at that rubric. You're now watching the syllabus video review, which is great, and I mentioned there's a short quiz on it afterwards. I will have weekly lecture videos for you. I don't keep track of whether or not you watch them, whether or not you watch the whole thing. I'm trusting that you know what's best for you and you'll do what's best for you. But I do think that since the quizzes are based on the weekly lectures, you're probably going to want to watch those. Just saying. This class, I think, only has 2 assignments. They're very, very limited. And one assignment is to watch the syllabus video review. So you essentially, after you're done with this and you click off that you've done that assignment, you don't have another assignment until pretty late, I think week 12 in the program or in this course. But you can start that at any time. It is open to you, and I think I do have that week open, so help yourself. And just make sure you watch out for the rubric, that you read that before you start working on that assignment. Then the quizzes, those open on Thursdays at 12:30, close on Mondays. I've had students say, well, why don't you just open them up all the time? Well, I'm hoping that you'll take Tuesdays and Wednesdays to really dig into the information and do the learning. And then we'll open the tests. And I don't want to open the tests too long. I prefer to have them only open Thursdays till Mondays. If you end up in a situation where you need them opened earlier, let's say you're going to be going out of town and you need it opened earlier, shoot me an email and I'll be glad to open it for you specifically early. I'm not going to open it for everyone, but I will do it on a one-time basis. And the tests, again, they're one attempt, time limited, graded based on correct answers only. Classroom conduct, the biggest thing I can say about classroom conduct is it all comes back to respect. Every single individual in this world deserves respect. They deserve to have their rights, their dignity, their worth, and their freedom respected. But having said that, we need to respect each other and make sure that we are being civil in our interactions, and kind, civil and kind and respectful. Class continuation. We always have class. We're online, so the weather doesn't bother us. So whether the campus gets closed or not, we're still meeting. So we'll skip through that. The Learning Center. If you have not utilized the Learning Center and you suspicion that they might be of help to you, please don't be shy. Please reach out to them. They are great people. They have some wonderful offerings for students, and it is free. They have tutoring and just an amazing amount of subjects. They will help you with papers. If you struggle with writing papers, they'll help you with that. If you struggle with Excel spreadsheets, they can help you with that. So different things. They're just a great, great resource. If you haven't utilized them, please consider doing so. They're there for you and they want to help you. Access. There's the read, speaker, listen button in Brightspace. I have all sorts of links and videos and all sorts of things. And when I put those together and put them into Brightspace, they work. That's not to say that 3 weeks, 4 months down the road, something's going to change and all of a sudden it doesn't work. So if that happens, shoot me an email. I'll see what I can do. Also, if you need something closed caption or something that should be playing so you can listen to it instead of just read it, and it's not doing that, shoot me an email and I'll see what I can work out to make that happen. Of course, copyright, the information's there. Netiquette, kind of talked about that, but I want to stop for a minute and go into discussions. We want to make sure that in our discussions we're respectful and civil. So let's look at this from both perspectives. Before you post your discussion, please stop and read it. And read it from the perspective of if no one knew you, if somebody had never met you before, never seen you before, didn't know your life circumstances or your life experiences, and they read your post, would they find something in it that was disrespectful or offensive? If that is the case, please modify it. Please look at how can you change it so that you're keeping you're still making your points, but you're doing them in a way that is respectful and civil. And on the same token, I would ask that anyone who receives a reply to their post, that when you read it, that you don't take it from a position of hypersensitivity, that you automatically take offense from it, that it's automatically disrespectful. The person that sent it probably didn't realize that that's a way it could come off. And so the first thing we need to do is we really need to look at the content. Is the content appropriate? Is it that they're arguing a different point than you, or they see it from a different perspective, or they had a different life experience? And maybe they're in their passion of arguing it, it comes across really strongly. That happens when we have conversations with each other in the real world. That happens. Can we make sure that we keep it professional and on the topic? That's really what it's all about, respectful, civil and respectful. So having said that, let's just step back. Let's have mercy and kindness on both sides, but let's also be really careful to be respectful in the first place in what we put out there. And then my last point about that is if there is something offensive, please shoot me an email. If you find something offensive or something's a post that's been put out there and it really bothers you, make sure you email me. I do read every single discussion post and reply, every single one, before I grade. If there's anything there that catches my eye, I will definitely deal with it. But if you send me an email, it will really alert me and I will be able to follow up as is appropriate based on whatever it is. I hope we never have to go there. That's my hope and prayer, is that we never have to do that, that we are always respectful, kind, and civil. And we want to see all sides of an issue. That would be the other thing that I would say, is that we should not hold back in what we're going to post, as long as, again, respectful, civil, kind, and personally, and this is just me as an instructor, I like to keep politics out of it. I want us to talk about the facts, the data, the studies that have been done, all of those types of things. I think that we can talk about policies, but please let's not tie it back to politics, political parties, or individual political figures, celebrities, any of that. To me, that doesn't belong in the professional arena. That is not professionalism. To me, what's professionalism is we stay on the topic. We look at data, we look at studies, we look at appropriate articles, and we focus on things that truly involve the issue, not individuals, not people, not personalities, not politics. So having said that, that's that. Accommodation policy. If you have an accommodation, please, please, please reach out to me so that I'm aware of it and I can make sure Bright Space reflects that for you personally, and that's something that will be confidential between us. If you do not have an accommodation and you're kind of wondering, I wonder if I should be tested for this, or I wonder if I need an accommodation for that, reach out to Anna or Adam. I have met them both, and they are fabulous people, and they will gladly help you through that accommodations process. So don't be shy about that either if that's something that's crossed your mind. Getting down to the next thing is the statement of non-discrimination. Here at Northeast Iowa Community College, we do not discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, disability, age, employment status, sexual orientation, gender identity, creed, religion, actual or potential parental, family, or marital status in any program, activity, or employment. We are here to be a safe place for everyone where you can come up with dreams, pursue your dreams, and capture your dreams and move on, where you can grow as an individual, and where you can find what you need to be professionally successful. So discrimination is not tolerated in any way, shape, or form, and neither is harassment. If any of that happens, I want to know about it right away. Confidentiality, responsible employment statement is here for you, and the disclaimer is there. I'm not going to cover that. If you have any other questions or concerns, you know how to find me. It's through NICC email, and I can't wait for us to get started. I think we're going to have an enormous amount of material in this class, but remember, it's a 1-credit class, so I'm going to try and hone it down in my lectures and in the PowerPoints to really be what you need to know. Because we could, if you've looked at your textbook, if you've taken a look, there's an amazing amount of information. There are formulas, there's chemistry, there's all sorts of stuff. There is just how it crosses different lines. You have your refractory periods. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of information that's in this book. But we're going to glean through and figure out what it is that we need as HIT professionals as we move forward into that program. All right, I'm going to let you go now. Take care. I'll be back to talk to you again soon. And reach out to me if you need me. And don't forget that quiz. Don't forget the quiz.